Very good morning, class. So, first, today we are going to revise our some contents of second chapter. Then after we will continue. So we have already started our second chapter, forms of business organization. In this chapter we have seen uh, concept of different form of the business organization. Basically, we have five different types of the business organization which are very popular in our country. These are sole proprietorship, joint Hindu family business, partnership, cooperative societies, and joint stock company. Joint stock company, that is also called companies only. Okay. So, as we have seen the meaning, so sole proprietorship is a form of business organization which are run, managed, and controlled by any individual person. So, that is run and managed by any one individual person. That's why it's called sole proprietorship. And we have already seen the characteristics of such a type of business organization, just like the formation and closure, which are very easy. Liabilities of the owner, that is unlimited under sole proprietorship, and so under the sole proprietorship that individual person used to bear all the risk and enjoy all the profit. Overall control उसके हाथ में होता है. There is no separate entity of business and the business owner, and the life of such a form of business organization is are not so long. And we have some benefits or the merits of such a form of the business organization, like we can make quick decision and direct incentive. It means we will get reward according to our performance, sense of accomplishment, and ease of formation and closure, that we have already seen. Some limitations are there, like limited resources because a single person can't invest huge amount. Limited life of a business concern, that we have already seen, and unlimited liabilities. And lastly, that is limited managerial abilities, because each and every person have some limited managerial skills. Then we have discussed about the joint Hindu family business, any form of business organization which are run, managed, and controlled by any joint Hindu family. Okay, that is called joint Hindu family business. So, in the Hindu family business, basically we have two system. One is Daya Bhag and second one is Mitakshara. Daya Bhag, which is very popular in West Bengal, and Mitakshara, that is popular in all over the India except West Bengal. Then after we have the formation. Okay, the formation of joint Hindu family business, that is very easy. Liabilities under the joint Hindu family business, that is unlimited for kartas only, and the control only karta used to control such a form of the business organization properly. And continuity, such a form of business organization can be continued after the even after the death of head of the family. Okay, and a person, whenever he took birth in Hindu inverted family, as he become the member of that business also. Effective control, continuous business existence, limited liability of members. Okay, these are their merits. And in the limitations, we have discussed about the limited resources, about the unlimited liabilities of head of the family, dominance of karta. It depends now on the karta how he used to manage the business. Okay, and each and every person have some limited managerial skills. So that is also the limitations of Hindu undivided family business. Then now we have to discuss new form of the business organization, that is third form of the business organization which we are going to discuss, that is of partnership. Okay, as the sentence clearly states, partnership, it means when two or more persons will work together, it will be considered as partnership. So here we have definition of partnership. Partnership is the relation between persons component to make contracts who have agreed to carry on a lawful business in common with a view to private gain. Okay, so it was just only the general meaning. Other than this, we can see the definition given by the Indian Partnership Act 1932. They defines the relation between persons who have agreed to share the profit of the business carried on by all or any one of them, acting for all. This is the definition of partnership which has been given by the Indian Partnership Act 1932. So we have to understand the definition given by IPA 1932. They defines partnership is the relation between the persons. So simply partnership, that is relation in between at least two. Okay, for the partnership there should be two persons, but question is there, what can be the maximum number of members in partnership? So according to Companies Act 2013 new amendments, okay, in the partnership business maximum number of partners can't be more than 50. For the partnership minimum 2 persons are required, but this number can't be exceed more than 50 according to Companies Act 2013. But if we are going according to the Partnership Act 1932, according to the old act, in the partnership the maximum number of members can't be more than 20 for simple form of the business organization, and maximum 10 members if they are engaged in banking activities or banking type of the business activities. So first we have seen the partnership, that is the relation in between the persons, and that is a mutual relation. We can't force anyone to join that form of the business organization. They have to come together mutually, and they must be agreed to share the profit. Okay, loss sharing is not mandatory, that is not compulsory in the partnership business, but they must have to share the losses. Okay, sorry, they must have to share the profit. Sharing of loss is not necessary, and such a type of business organization will be carried by all. It means all the members of partnership firm, they can actively take part in the managerial activities. If all the partners are not going to take part together, so in that case any one of them, okay, any one of them will work for the other partners, but rest of the partners who are not active in the business organization, even then after they will be responsible for the activities done by any single person. So here we have to find out the features of Partnership Act. First, and the very important feature, that is act applied. As we have seen in the Partnership Act 1932 applied. Okay, so because any form of the business organization come into the existence just because of the legal agreement, and the formation of partnership done just because of the IPA 1932. Next, and the very important feature, that is of profit sharing. In the partnership business, sharing of loss is not mandatory, but they must have to share the profit. No one can partner ignore to share the profit. Then third and the very important feature, that is of the liability. As we have seen in the sole proprietorship, the liability of partners, liability of member is unlimited, and Hindu undivided family, the liability of Karta is unlimited, but the liabilities of other members in joint Hindu family business, that is limited. Okay, but in the partnership business the liabilities of all the partners are unlimited, that is not bound or not related to the shares taken by them. कितना वो shares लिए हैं, क्या किए हैं, उससे वो relate नहीं करता है. They will be responsible for the whole loss or the risk. Okay, then next we have risk bearing. Risk bearing, as we have seen, the partners, when they start such a form of the business organization, the main motive of them to share the risk in between the partners, so they must be share the risk. Then after, decision making and control, as we have seen, such a form of business organization are run, managed and controlled by most probably by the all of the persons. कहाँ जा रहा हूँ? All of the persons, ठीक है. So all the partners can take part actively. and continuity. And this is one of the feature of partnership business. L- Such a form of the business organizations can't be continuing so long, because that form of the business organization can be dissolved or can be end just by the death of any partner, or whenever a person will declare insolvent, incapable to work in such a form of the business organization. So these are the features of partnership business. And membership, as we have already seen, the minimum number of members, that is of 2, and the maximum number is 50. Mutual agency, they works together by their mutual agency or the mutual agreement. No one can force them for doing so. Oh, after the characteristics or the features, we have some merits. Okay, and these points we have already discussed. So here we will just give a view. Just like formation and closure, as we have seen in the sole proprietorship firm, there is very less formalities to start functioning. In the Hindu and wedded family business, same, there is very less paperwork and documentations. So similarly, in the partnership business, there are very less documentations, very less paperwork, and easily we can start our business activities, and that is very easy to dissolve it too. And balanced decision making, and this is the very important quality of partnership business. In the form of partnership, we can easily take balanced decision. Here the meaning of balanced decision, it means in the sole proprietorship there was only one person, okay, but in the partnership we have two, more than two, at least up to 50 members. So if number of persons are more, then easily they can take better decision, that is balanced decision. More funds, once when two or more than two person will start functioning together, so definitely they will be able to invest huge capital, which was not possible for any individual person. Next, and when under the sole proprietorship, a person has to bear all the risk, okay, but in the partnership business we can share that risk, okay. So if we are going to share the risk, then definitely we can continue our business organization in long run. And secrecy, in the partnership business as well as in the sole proprietorship, both the secrets of the business can be maintained, okay. These are the merits of partnership business. Then next, along with the some positive aspect, we have some negative aspect, that is called limitation here. So now we are going to discuss the limitations of partnership firm. As we have seen in the features also, the liabilities of partners in partnership firm, that is unlimited. If the liabilities of partnership firm are more than their liabilities, then they have to charge their fixed, their personal assets regarding the repayment of debts amount. And similarly, in the partnership firm or the partnership business, all the partners have very limited resources, okay. And definitely when two or more than two persons works together, because they belongs to the different community, different living standards, okay, so there may be the chance of conflicts in between the partners. So this is a big issue. Then after lack of continuity, as we have seen in the partnership firm, just because of the death of a partner, just because of incapability of any partners, okay. So these are the few reasons by which a partners can be declared insolvent, okay, and not able to continue in the firm. So firms can be dissolved. So lack of continuity, that is one of the very important limitations. And lastly, we have lack of public confidence. Most probably all the in partnership firms, in the partnership firm businesses, public do not show their interest, okay. These are the limitations of partnerships. Then after the limitation and all, we have to discuss over the types of partnership or the types of partners, okay. So first we will talk about the active partner. An active partner is one who contributes capital, take part in the managerial activities of the partnership firm, and timely share the profit and loss of the business organization, okay, and deal with the outsiders too. So they are very active in the partnership firm. So that's why they are called active partner. They are active by the way of capital investment. They are active by the profit sharing. They are active in all the aspects. Okay. Then after we have next sleeping or the dormant partner. Sleeping partners, it means a partners who just invest their capital and rest of the time they are inactive. So they are called sleeping partner or the inactive partners. They just invest their capital and they come at the time of profit distribution. Okay, they do not take part in the managerial activities. That's why they are called sleeping partners. And then next we have secret partner, a partner who does not disclose their name. Okay, but they used to invest their capital and somehow they took part in the managerial activities. They just do not disclose their name in front of public. So that's why they are called secret partner. So अभी के टाइम पे ये सबसे एडवांस कॉन्सेप्ट होता है इन मोस्ट प्रोबेबली इन मोस्ट ऑफ द बिजनेसेस वी हैव सीन कि बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं दे जस्ट इन्वेस्ट देयर कैपिटल but they do not disclose their names. And next after the secret partner we have nominal partner, a partner who is in the business organization just because of the name. Okay, and they do not invest their capital sometimes, and they do not take part in the managerial activities, but they comes to distribute the profit and loss. Okay, they just enjoy the profit and loss of the firm's business organization. Okay, and they are also they are like a third parties. For that we can take an example, just to increase the goodwill, just to increase the name and fame of our business organization, we can ask to any famous celebrity to join our partnership firm. Okay, and he will join our partnership firm, but he don't have to invest capital. Okay, सो सपोज़ हमने कुछ भी एक बिज़नेस स्टार्ट किया एंड हम लोगों ने किसी सेलिब्रिटी को, सचिन तेंदुलकर को बोल दिया भाई आ जाओ हमारे बिज़नेस में, आप बस एज अ नेम के लिए आ जाओ. तो जब वो हमारे नाम के लिए आएगा, जब हमारे फर्म के साथ में उस सेलिब्रिटी का नाम ऐड होगा, तो डेफिनेटली क्या होगा, हमारा बिज़नेस काफ़ी पॉपुलर हो जाएगा. सो जस्ट टू मेक एनी बिज़नेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पॉपुलर, we can make any person, we can invite any person to join our firm as a partner. So they are called nominal partner because they are just for the namesake only. Then partners by estoppel, a person is considered a partner by estoppel. अब सर होता कैसे है? If any person who is not the partner in our partnership firm, but he or she, whatever is there, if they act like a partner, then they are called partner by estoppel. Okay, अगर जस्ट लाइक कि कोई सेलिब्रिटी है, किसी सेलिब्रिटी को किसी इंटरव्यू में पूछा कि डू यू बिलोंग्स टू दैट पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, अब वहाँ पर उसका जो एक्शन था वो नहीं भी नहीं बोल रहा है और हाँ भी नहीं बोल रहा है, बट उसका जो बॉडी जेस्चर है वो क्लियर बोलता है कि येस ही एक्सेप्टिंग दैट ही इज़ द पार्ट ऑफ दैट बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. सो सच इन दैट केस he will be considered as partner. Okay, last we have partner by holding out. A partner by holding out is a person who though is not a partner in a firm but knowingly allows himself herself to be the represented as a partner in a firm. Such person become liable to outside creditors for payment also. Okay, they are not partners but their activities are like a partner, so in that case they will be liable to pay off the debt amount. So these were the different types of the partners. Then after we have to discuss a very important content, that a minor can be a partner in the firm or not. Minor, a person who has not completed the age of 18, can be the part of partnership firm or not. So according to the Companies Act 2013, a person who has not completed the age of 18 year can't be the part of any partnership business or any form of the business organization except Hindu undivided family business. So how we can invite, how we can introduce any minor in our partnership firm as a partner? So if rest of the partners in partnership firm, if they all are agreed, in that case we can invite any minor as a partner in partnership business. But in that case we have some restrictions, like that person will not be liable for any losses in the business organization. फर्म में अगर कोई लॉस होता है तो उस केस में उस माइनर की कोई रोल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं होगी. Okay, and he will just enjoy the profit and he is not going to bear any kind of the risk, and he can't take part in the managerial activities. So he will be a partner but just for the profit motive. Okay, so then after we have different types of the partnerships. Okay, so it can be classified on the basis of duration, that is called partnership at will, and second one is called particular partnership. And on the basis of liabilities we have general partnership, we have limited partnership. So we have four different types of the partnership. So partnership at will, it means this type of partnership exists at the will of the partners. It means it depends on the rest of the partners up to how long they want to continue with that. Okay, once they will decide to disclose such a type of firm, they can easily dissolve. And next one is particular partnership. If we have made any kind of partnership just for the completion of any task or any venture, so it will be considered as particular partnership. Okay, then after general partnership, बेसिकली जिस पार्टनरशिप के बारे में हम लोग बात करते हैं, डिस्कस करते हैं, दैट इज़ ओनली द जनरल पार्टनरशिप. देयर इज़ नथिंग स्पेशल. ओके, एंड नेक्स्ट वी हैव लास्ट, दैट इज़ लिमिटेड पार्टनरशिप. इफ़ द लाइबिलिटी ऑफ एनी पार्टनर्स are declared limited in the partnership firm. As we have seen, the liabilities of partners in the partnership firm is unlimited. But suppose if the liability of a partner is just mentioned, that is this partner will responsible only up to this much of loss, so that is called limited partnership. तो लेकिन इसमें हार्डली क्या होता है, सारे पार्टनर्स की लाइबिलिटीज़ लिमिटेड हो सकती है, एटलीस्ट वन पार्टनर्स की लाइबिलिटीज़ जो होनी चाहिए वो अनलिमिटेड होनी चाहिए. सो इट वॉज द टाइप्स ऑफ पार्टनरशिप फर्म. एंड लास्ट वी हैव द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कंटेंट, दैट इज ऑफ पार्टनरशिप डीड. सो व्हाट इज पार्टनरशिप डीड? Partnership deed is nothing, a written agreement in between the partners regarding the business activities, that is called partnership deed. So the meaning of deed can be seen here as an agreement. So there is no difference in between the agreement and the deed. Once when two or more than two persons work together, so there may be the chance of dispute, there may be there may be the chance of problem related to the managerial activities and all. So just to save them by all these aspects, they can make an agreement, and that written agreement is called here partnership deed. So contents of partnership deed: when partners will make an agreement, so they have to include all those things, just like name of the firm, what will be the name of the firm, उसके लिए सारे agree होने चाहिए. Nature of business and location of business, which type of business activities they are going to start, and what will be the location, what will be the head office of the business organization, and where they will manufacture goods and where they will supply, each and everything they have to mention. And duration of business, how long they are going to continue this business, that they have to mention. And capital contribution done by each and every partner should be clearly mentioned. And then after distribution of profit and loss, in which ratio they are going to share profit and loss, that they have to clearly mention.